Today we're talking about Audi, 52 facts about the brand that paints radiators black, sniffs leather professionally, trolls BMW for sport, and somehow made tailgating feel like a luxury feature. Number 1. Audi paints all of its radiators black so you don't see some ugly silver metal piece sitting behind the grille. Most people would never notice that. Audi noticed. Because apparently even the thing hidden behind the front bumper needs to look classy. Number 2. Audi uses emu feathers to polish cars before they leave the factory. Not microfiber. Not some normal brush. Emu feathers. Because they're soft enough to give the paint the finish Audi wants without scratching it. Somewhere in the world, an emu is part of German quality control. Number 3. Audi has a special team whose job is to smell the interior materials. Leather, wood, plastics, everything has to smell right. These people can't smoke, wear perfume, eat garlic, or even work if they have a cold. Audi basically has an elite smell squad, and they've had it since the 1980s. Number 4. If you ever feel useless, just remember the Audi A8 has heated armrests. Heated seats? Normal. Heated steering wheel? Fine. But heated armrests are a level of luxury where your elbows are apparently too important to suffer. Number 5. Audi performed what is considered one of the first rollover tests in car history by rolling a car down a hill in front of spectators. That's such an old-school safety test. Today we use crash labs and sensors. Back then Audi was like, push it down the hill and watch. Number 6. Audi's 4 rings represent the 4 companies that merged to form Auto Union, Audi, DKW, Horch, and Wanderer. So the logo is not just 4 random circles. It is basically a corporate family tree, but cleaner and easier to put on a grill. Before we continue, if you enjoy videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. These videos take a lot of time, research, editing, and money to make, and your support really helps us keep going. Thank you. Number 7. Audi and BMW once had one of the funniest billboard wars ever. Audi put up a billboard taking a jab at BMW, BMW answered across the street, Audi answered back, BMW brought in a blimp, and Audi kept escalating. It was basically a rap battle, but with German sedans and marketing budgets. Number 8. The name e-tron sounds futuristic in English, but in French, a very similar word means something much worse, basically turd. Which is unfortunate when you're trying to sell premium electric cars. Imagine spending millions on branding and then finding out France is quietly laughing. Number 9. Audi switched to door handles you lift instead of pull partly because many of the older customers buying their cars found them easier to use. That is luxury design in its most honest form, not, how do we look cool, but, how do rich people with arthritis open this? Number 10. Audi made its horns louder for the Indian market because driving conditions there involve much more horn use. That's actually smart. Audi did not try to force one global setup everywhere. They looked at India and said, yeah, they're going to need more beep. Number 11. The Audi R8's gated manual shifter was designed to feel and sound perfect. The lever did not actually smash into the pretty visible metal gate the way people think. Audi hid a separate guide underneath and tuned the click sound so you could hear that satisfying metallic clack over the engine. Number 12. Audi's slogan, Vorsprung durch Technik, is older than Audi as we know it today. The phrase has been around since 1971. While Audi officially became Audi AG later. So the slogan basically grew up before the modern brand did. Number 13. On some Audi models, the fuse box is placed in one of the worst locations imaginable, under the PCM, which is already under the washer reservoir. So if the washer reservoir leaks, congratulations, your simple fluid problem can become electrical chaos. That is not maintenance. That is a German escape room. Number 14. The Audi RS3 has daytime running lights that can literally spell out RS3. It's a small detail, but very Audi. Even the headlights want you to know this is the angry version. Number 15. Audi is technically connected to the invention of the rotary engine. Felix Wenkel developed the rotary while working for NSU, and NSU later merged into the company that became part of modern Audi. So yes, Mazda fans, the Dorito engine has some Audi family ancestry hiding in the background. Number 16. During pre-production testing of the first-gen RS6, an engineer heard weird noises from the fuel tank, basically fuel tank mooing, farting, or squeaking. And because that is not the sound a luxury performance car should make, Audi redesigned the fuel tank setup to fix it. Imagine being the engineer assigned to stop the expensive wagon from making cow noises. Number 17. Audi's famous Quattro all-wheel drive system originally came from military vehicle development. It was first created for the Volkswagen Iltis, a German military off-roader. Audi liked the system so much they adapted it for their own cars, and the UR Quattro was born. So Audi's identity came from something built to survive mud and soldiers. Number 18. When BMW celebrated its 100th birthday, Audi congratulated them by calling them their younger brother. And technically, Audi is older. That is such a subtle luxury insult. No shouting. No drama. Just a polite reminder that BMW came later. Number 19. The Audi RSQ, built for the movie I, Robot, actually came before the R8. The RSQ was made in 2004, while the R8 came out later. So Audi's futuristic movie car kind of previewed the shape and attitude of the supercar that would become one of Audi's biggest icons. Number 20. Audi sold only 40 manual cars in the US in 2018. 40. That's not a market. That's a group chat. So Audi dropped manuals in America after that, which is sad, but also painfully understandable. Number 21. The International Olympic Committee sued Audi over the four-ring logo in 1995. Audi won because the logos were not actually that similar. The Olympic Committee basically looked at Audi's rings and said, "Those circles feel suspicious." Number 22. Audi's S1 rally car used an external wastegate from the Porsche 911 Turbo, but Audi grinded off the Porsche logo so nobody would know. That is hilarious. Even race engineers have pride. They were like, "We need the part, but we don't need the evidence." Number 23. Audi bought Lamborghini partly because it wanted to build its first real road-legal supercar without starting from zero. Instead of spending forever figuring everything out alone, they bought a company that already knew how to make exotic cars. That move eventually helped make the Audi R8 possible. Audi basically said, "Why learn supercars when we can buy homework?" Number 24. In 1985, a mechanic used an Audi 5000 to help fix a plane mid-flight. A plane had landing gear trouble, and they needed a vehicle fast enough to drive under it while it flew low. A mechanic's Audi had the speed and a sunroof, so someone stood through the sunroof and worked on the plane while the car was doing about 90 miles per hour. That is not a repair. That is a Mission Impossible scene with German leather seats. Number 25. Audi sells wireless charging pads for its electric cars. It sounds simple, but it's very Audi: make charging feel cleaner, smoother, and less like plugging in a giant phone with wheels. Number 26. The name Audi comes from founder August Horch. He could not use the Horch name after leaving his old company, so someone suggested the Latin translation of Horch, which means, listen. That Latin word was Audi. So Audi's name basically means, listen, which is funny for a brand famous for exhaust notes and turn signal precision. Number 27. The Audi RS2 was developed with Porsche. It even has Porsche badges on parts like the brakes, grille, tailgate, and intake manifold. That wagon is not just an Audi with more power. It is basically a family car with a Porsche ghost hiding inside it. Number 28. Audi covers around 35 million test kilometers every year across different countries and climates. And RS models get thousands of kilometers on the Nürburgring. Audi does not just test cars. It basically makes them suffer professionally before customers ever touch them. Number 29. The fastest Audi ever is still the 1938 Auto Union Type C Streamliner. It had a 16-cylinder engine and reached around 440 kilometers per hour. That is insane even today, and this was before World War II. Sadly, it was also involved in a fatal crash during testing, which shows how dangerous early speed records really were. Number 30. Audi once used a flood situation to troll BMW by posting a video of an Audi driving past a stuck BMW. The problem is, that flood caused deaths and serious damage. So yes, Audi can be funny, but sometimes their timing needs quattro-level correction. Number 31. Audi provided toy cars to a pediatric hospital so children could be driven to surgery rooms in style. That is genuinely sweet. If a kid is going through something scary, arriving in a tiny Audi is at least a little bit cooler than being wheeled down a hallway. Number 32. The third-generation Audi S6 had a detuned version of Lamborghini's 5.2-liter V10. So yes, there was a time when you could buy a relatively normal-looking Audi sedan with a Lamborghini-related engine under the hood. That is exactly the kind of quiet madness Audi does best. Number 33. The Audi RS6 has a dark internet history connected to the kerosene trend. A high-speed RS6 crash in 2019 became associated with clips and music online, turning a real tragedy into a viral car culture reference. It's one of those stories where the internet took something horrific and turned it into an aesthetic. Number 34. More than half of RS6 buyers have reportedly ordered the towing package. That says everything about the RS6. It is a super wagon that can embarrass sports cars, carry luggage, and tow something behind it. You do not have to choose between speed and practicality. You can simply be unreasonable in both directions. Number 35. Audi loves making its cars look wide in the rear because of quattro. Their design philosophy is about making the technology visible. Wide hips, strong stance, big rear presence, Audi wants you to see that power is going to all four wheels. Basically, the big but is branding. Number 36. At the 2019 New York Auto Show, Audi trolled BMW using Wi-Fi network names. Their network said things like the A4 having more horsepower, more torque, and CarPlay, because BMW was getting criticized for charging a subscription for Apple CarPlay. Audi didn't need a billboard this time. They weaponized Wi-Fi. Number 37. Audi's Matrix headlights use millions of micro mirrors that can adjust thousands of times per second. That sounds less like headlights and more like a tiny digital army controlling light. Audi looked at "Turn the Beam On" and said, "What if we made this absurdly complicated and amazing?" Number 38. Audi's race division uses carbon-neutral renewable energy, even though racing itself burns through fuel, tires, logistics, and money. It's a little like ordering diet soda with the largest burger on the menu. Nice effort, but also kind of funny. Number 39. Mercedes once owned Audi, and then sold it to Volkswagen in 1964. That is one of the funniest pieces of German car history. Mercedes had Audi, let it go, and then watched Audi become one of its biggest rivals. That has to sting a little. Number 40. Only Audi's most experienced employees are allowed to build the R8. They are called Silverliners because many have worked there so long they have gray hair. That is honestly cool. The R8 was not built by random workers. It was built by Audi veterans with decades of experience and probably terrifying standards. Number 41. The Audi 5000 sudden acceleration scandal nearly destroyed Audi in America. Reports claimed the cars accelerated by themselves, and a famous TV segment made it worse. But government testing later found the cars were not the problem, driver error was. People were pressing the gas instead of the brake. Audi still changed their cars to require brake pressure before shifting out of park, basically dummy-proofing the issue. Number 42. Many Audis have a small valve that redirects air conditioning into the glove box, turning it into a little fridge. That's such a good feature. Snacks, drinks, chocolate, suddenly the glove box has more purpose than storing expired insurance papers. Number 43. The 1977 Audi 100 was the first production car with a 5-cylinder gasoline engine. And if you've heard an Audi 5-cylinder at full throttle, you know why people still care. It doesn't sound normal. It sounds like a mechanical war chant. Number 44. Before founding Audi, August Horch worked for Carl Benz, the founder of Mercedes-Benz. So Audi's founder had Mercedes roots. German car history is basically one giant family argument with better engineering. Number 45. Audi once put a 6.0-liter V12 diesel in the Q7. A diesel V12 SUV. That is completely unnecessary, which is exactly why it's amazing. It made huge torque and proved Audi was willing to build something just because it sounded impossible. Number 46. Audi doors automatically lock when you go over about 15 kilometers per hour. But opening them from the inside can feel like you need to pull the handle with the determination of someone trying to escape a submarine. Audi safety sometimes feels like German trust issues. Number 47. Audi sells all kinds of branded products: clothes, pens, watches, scale models, mugs, umbrellas, bags, baby bottles, pacifiers, flip-flops, towels, and even car-shaped USB sticks. At some point, Audi is less a car brand and more a lifestyle store with Quattro. Number 48. Some Audis have illuminated seatbelt buckles so you can find the buckle more easily at night. That is actually useful. It also feels like Audi quietly admitting that some of their customers need help finding the hole. Number 49. Audi engineers secretly built a mid-engine Group B rally monster because they believed the front-engine Quattro was starting to lose its edge. Management rejected the idea because Audi wanted race cars to look like production cars. So engineers built it anyway, the press leaked it, and Audi killed the project to save face. Somewhere in history, there is a legendary Audi that never got its chance. Number 50. The Audi e-tron has paddle shifters, but they do not change gears. Instead, they control regenerative braking. That makes sense for an EV, but it still feels strange. Audi kept the performance car gesture and gave it an electric car job. Number 51. Audi moved the battery in early TT Quattro models to the trunk for better weight distribution. But the only place it fit was where the spare tire would normally go, so Audi ditched the spare. That is very Audi, sacrifice emergency practicality so the balance feels right. Number 52. The Audi Q4 e-tron has a paint option called Solar Sky that reflects shortwave radiation from the sun to keep the cabin cooler. That helps reduce how hard the climate system has to work, which can improve range. Even the paint is doing efficiency work. That is peak Audi.